Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 2. You guys seem to be all over it so far. I'm really proud of how well you guys are getting in and doing what you need to do. Just to reiterate, each week there will be a folder in the content area that will be marked week 1, week 2, whatever your corresponding week is that time. And those become available on Wednesday morning, and all of the work for that week then is due the following Tuesday. So, again, I don't take late work. It's really important to be on time and plan accordingly. This isn't a class where you'll probably be able to log in the night before everything's due and get everything done. So make sure that you just kind of make it part of your day on Wednesdays to get into that folder and see what's there for the week so you know what to expect. Also, just to let you know how I do this now that you have an assignment in, I go in on Wednesdays and I download everything all at once. So even if you submitted last week sometime, I'm just going to download everybody's stuff all at once on the day that it's due. And I do that partially because sometimes students will submit something and then they'll realize that there was an error or they wanted to change something, and then they'll give me a second one. So if that ever happens, you can email me an assignment, even if it's already been submitted in Blackboard. Just kind of explain that situation. And again, it would, of course, have to be before the due date. So just so you know, again, email is always a great backup if you're not sure about Blackboard or if you're not sure if something was submitted, because computer problems are not a sufficient reason or excuse for late work. So let's see here. And as far as now that I've downloaded everything, you guys should have your writing exercises back in the gradebook by this time next week. So I usually do a 1-week turnaround. And that's going to be pretty much every week. It takes me about a week to grade your assignments and get them caught up. I try to stay on top of that because I don't want to get behind either. The only exception to that is like there'll be a week later in the semester where you'll have 2 large papers due, and clearly then that takes me a little bit longer because I have double the papers that need to be graded. So just so you know, normally a 1-week turnaround. I really want you guys to always feel pretty confident you know where you are in the class and how you're doing. I never want it to be a surprise what your grade is. That being said, I can tell you a little bit more about how I grade the different assignments. So your reading and responses, those are, a little less. I mean, I want you to do your best on them and everything, but I don't give you quite the detailed feedback on those because they're not as, they're a 20, 30 point assignment versus the 50 and 100 point assignments. So for those, you'll generally get a score in Blackboard, and then you'll get some general comments about what worked and what didn't work, or what you need to improve, or what was awesome. But the writing exercises and the major papers, the memoirs is the first major paper, and you're getting information about that in this week's folder. Those papers, you will get your paper back with electronic comments to the side. If you don't see comments, you may need to go in and enable comments in Word, because larger papers, you will always get comments back, okay? I spend a lot of time with those, showing you things, different ways you can do them, or all kinds of things like that. So make sure that you can see those comments. And you'll get a second document, which is a rubric. And a rubric is basically a scoring chart that says, okay, you lost 3 points here for sentence structure. You got full points for diction and voice, or things like that. It just kind of breaks down. I want your score to be meaningful to you. I don't just want to be a number. So I want you to understand what your score means. So though you'll get the rubric and the paperback with comments for the writing exercises and the major papers. Let's see. Other than that, make sure you have your book. If you don't have a book at this point, you've already missed assignments for week 1. You do have to get since it's an online course, you'll order the book online through Ankeny, just so you know. I've had students come to the bookstore in Newton and it is not there. So that's something, especially with an online course, I use the book a lot more than I do in a face-to-face course, just because it kind of takes the place of some of the class discussion that we would have had, or lecture, that sort of thing. So, all right, I'm going to go through the book really quick, or excuse me, your agenda for this week. So forgive me, I'm going to be looking back and forth here. Of course, you'll read I have a couple of lessons that I have in there, the critical reading lesson and the theme lesson. Those are just like 2-page documents where I write to you my thoughts and what I would talk to you in class if we were doing this face-to-face. So read the critical reading lesson. There's a short quiz after that. There's another reading and response activity that requires you to use the book and then write in response to it. Make sure that you're doing all of these assignments like that. Write them in a Word document, MLA format and everything. Submit it as an attachment in Blackboard, just FYI. Read through the memoir essay assignment. This also contains the information about theme that you need for the short theme quiz. Take the theme quiz, of course. You'll need to complete the memoir essay topic proposal. This is not an extensive assignment at all, but it does require you to make a decision about what you're going to write that paper about, because we blaze through these papers so fast in the summer. You have to really commit to things and get ready to move forward. Let's see. Writing exercise 2 asks you to do some random acts of kindness. I try to give you some different varying things to write about in those exercises. So the details, of course, are in today's folder. And I've got instructor notes that kind of, walk you through just some little editing issues and kind of some tips for you for this week. And again, of course, all those items are going to be due at midnight next week on Tuesday, or at least the end of the day, so 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday. As usual, if you have any questions, let me know. Email's the best way to communicate. Even when I'm out of the office, I usually try to answer an email at least to say that I've gotten it, and then I will, if I can answer the question right then, I will. If I can't, I'll say, I see your question. I will answer it as soon as I get in the office or back to my desk at home. And if you don't hear back from me, don't hesitate to send me a reminder email, because I also, get a little busy. So I think we're all going to be very busy this summer. I look forward to reading your first writing exercise. I really like that one because it kind of lets me know who you are, and I get to get an idea of what your story is and how you got where you are and why you're taking this class right now. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email. And again, if you're around the Newton campus, I am in the Academic Achievement Center from 9 to 2, Monday through Thursday. So I'm always available to help you in person, even if you'd like to do that. So have a great week, and I hope you enjoyed your holiday weekend. I hope you are ready to buckle down and do lots of work, and I will talk to you next week.